Hello, happy Saturday. Good morning, friends. Welcome to Stamp and Create with Beth. I'm Beth Roy, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So today is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. And I'm just gonna pull up my video. Say good morning if you pop in. And if you're new to hanging out, let us say hi. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you watch the replay, you can say hi on the replay as well. So good morning, Joan. Good morning, Jenny. I'm just waiting to see if my notifications go out. Good morning, Maggie. Today we are going to do this fun fold that I saw on, let me tell you the demonstrator site. It's called Stamps-n-Lingers, and she had this really cute card that combined two fun folds. So it is called the Book Fold Easel card. So I thought it looked really neat. I have two samples here, and then I have an easel card just so you can kind of see the difference. I forgot to pull out a book fold. I've done that one before, but it's really neat. I thought it looked really neat. So we're going to do that today. I do want to give a couple updates really quick while we're waiting for some more people to join us. So I mentioned this on my last live. There's some important updates about our cardstock. So the 8.5 by 11 cardstock is now 24 sheets for everything, including basic white and very vanilla. So before, basic white, very vanilla was 40 sheets. Now they're all the same number of sheets. Assortments will only contain 20 sheets, as they have, as they currently do, because there's 10 colors in a color family and you get 2 of each color. All of these packs will be the exact same price at $14. So that's a little bit of a jump. We're going to have a price increase. Now this is happening in May with the new catalog. So that will be, I believe the date is May 6th. So just that, this is just for your knowledge, so that you can buy things you need and make some budget decisions. Our 12 by 12 cardstock. Oh, one other thing on the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. We will not have thick basic white in the 8.5 by 11 anymore, starting in May. Or while supplies last, because if it sells out, I don't know if they're restocking it. The 12 by 12, we will have dyed through cardstock. I do not know which colors. I don't know if they're doing all the colors or a select range of neutrals. We will have basic white thick cardstock in 12 by 12. All of those packages will have 24 sheets, and they will all be the same price of $22. The basic white thick will be $26. The 12 by 12 two-toned cardstock is going to be available in all single color packages, in all colors. So that's a lighter weight. It's printed. It's different than the dyed. It's a printed, so it has the color on one side and then a lighter color on the other. And so it will coordinate and give you a better range of colors for all of our colors. So we will no longer have 12 by 12 dyed assortments. So the color family packs that we have in 12 by 12 are going away. but we will have the two-toned assortments that coordinate with the designer series paper and the scrapbooking things. So I wanted to make sure you all knew that, so that if you do need any of your cardstock replenished, you can make the decisions of when you're buying. Good morning, Christy. The other thing I want to touch on is paper pumpkin. If you get paper pumpkin, or you were thinking about getting the March box, you need to have your subscription in before the 10th. That's always the cutoff, is the 10th, but normally you have until 11:59 p.m. Well, on this March 10th, it's 11:59 a.m. Mountain Time. So I'm going to suggest, if you want to grab the March box, that you get it on the 9th. Do your subscription, or change your skip or cancel, or if you want to reactivate, do all of that by the 9th so that you don't miss the deadline. Paper Pumpkin site is going to go away, and on March 11th at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, the subscription, the ability to manage your subscription will be available over on our stampinup.com, which is, you get there through mine with the bethroy.stampinup.net. It goes to my stampinup.com online store, and that's where it will be moving to. So if you're thinking about getting the box, because March is our anniversary box, so it has an extra stamp set, the parts of the kit look really cute. I will be getting that box, but it will be moving over. So the time change is different, and I want to make sure that you know that, so that if you need to make changes, or you want to start getting it, you do that. And I would suggest making any changes by the 9th so that you don't miss the deadline on the 10th. So if you have questions about that, message me. Good morning, Vicki. All right, so let's jump in. Are you guys ready? Oh, I need a sip of coffee. Okay, so here's the card I posted. Isn't this cute? Now, the only stamping on this was literally my greetings. So here's the book part. Normally a book fold goes like this, right? We have this little binding right here. But this one is going to form an easel. So it goes this direction, and it forms an easel. Okay. And you open it, and you see I put Happy Spring in there. So you could really decorate this up, but it's not showing. So I just decorate what's visible, and it stands up like that. Isn't it cute? So here's my other one. I posted this one last night in my favorite colors. I had a little go with the new stamps that I just got. I decided to add this one to my collection. It's called Everyday You and Me. It's part of the scrapbook online products from January. It matches the paper that I love, so I went ahead and decided it would be great for my collection. So this is a birthday card, and you notice you can place this in different spots and it'll stand up differently. So this one I placed it up a little higher. Now this one I wanted to show you. Thank you, Jenny and Joan. Good morning, Deb. Happy birthday to Deb. So I wanted to show you this one. This is just an easel card. So it doesn't have this part back here like this that stays put. So if you turn this, you can see this back here. This is the book fold part. So this is just an easel, okay? So that's how it differs. And I like both of them, okay? So they fold flat for mailing. It is a little bulky here, so it may cost extra postage depending on how flat it will go, but I usually just factor in, if I'm sending this special card to somebody, it's okay that it costs a little extra postage. So that's just the easel card. So what do you guys think? Who has tried one of these? Anybody? So I thought it was very unique. And so I wanted to share it with you. So 2 fun folds meet. Oh, it's Jenny's son's birthday too. Oh, fun. Birthday celebrations all around. Sorry, I'm trying to get a lot of coffee in. Okay, so are you guys ready to see what stamp sets I want to use with it? I've already made most of the decisions. So I'm going to show you what I have in my pile here. Move these off to the side. I've used the Stylish Shapes. Okay, that's how I made my frame. And we're going to talk about that. I have some bits and pieces here. I have Misty Moonlight, one of my favorites, and I have the Timeless Plaid. So we're going to need to pick this paper here in a minute. And let me show you what we're going to make a guy card here. We're going to make a dad card. So I pulled out my Gone Fishing, and I pulled out Beside Me. Both of these are in my online store. This one does have coordinating dies, but I want this picture right here of the guy fishing with 2 kids. Now, this could be a dad card. It could be a big brother card, because I have a little kid with adult kids too. It could be for anybody. It could be an uncle. So this is has some Father's Day stuff in it, but I'm not making a Father's Day card. This also has Grateful for You all year long. Celebrating You Today, Beside Me All the Way. And then I have this set, and it was a Father's Day set, had retirement. But I want to do in my part right here, I use the ephemera from the Storybook Moments. Okay. I want to do some kind of either a fish or the bobbers or something here for my stopper. So when you have an easel, you have to have something that's on dimensionals on the inside that creates a stopper for it to stand up. So I want to make a guy card, and it could be a birthday, right? Oh, yes, Deb. I love an easel card too. I haven't made a ton of them. I have made them before. But I love it. So it goes in a regular, your regular medium envelope. I'm not sure I have one nearby me. That's why I said, it might have a little bit of bulk on this end, because you have to have that dimensional to create the back stand for your easel part. But it fits in a regular envelope. So, and then it just has this wow factor, and it stands up and makes a little display. So super cute. Oh, so what do you guys think? Are you excited? So these are in my online store. They're from the annual catalog, and I'm going to talk about how I made the frame, which is what I did here. So I cut the largest square from the Stylish Shapes. Then I taped the 2 sizes together like this. I showed a picture of it on my page. I taped them together like this and ran them through my cut and emboss machine, and that gave me this piece. And you just adhere that right on top. Now we're going to cut a basic white piece that's this size that goes in, okay, to make our picture. So that's why I have my dies out and my cut and emboss machine over here beside me, so we can use that. And we're going to use this right here. Now you could use this one as well. To me, it kind of looks like they might be at the beach or something. And we're going to create a frame to go on the front of our easel. Okay, so you guys ready for some decisions? And for my piece here, this solid piece, I went with a lighter color. So this is basic beige. And then we have some white for the inside and our piece that goes here. And I'll give you those measurements in a second. So here's what this looks like. Okay, and here's our base. It's gonna be 4.5 by 11. It's gonna get cut this way. I haven't cut it yet. So we gotta pick which paper we want, and then I'm gonna start showing you how to build this card. What do you think? What do you think, huh? Thank you for the love. Okay, so this is the Timeless Plaid. It's part of the Storybook Moments suite. And it's gorgeous. I love it. So it has a fun plaid, and then it has like a check on the other side. So I thought one of these two would be perfect for a fishing theme. You, of course, could use any of the plaids that you like out of that pack and coordinate the colors. So let's choose this really quick, and then I'm going to start cutting and give you the measurements. So number 1 is the Old Olive Plaid. So it has just a hint of blue in it. It's a little bit different plaid pattern than this one. And number 2 is this plaid, and it has more blue, but it still has the green. So I love both of these. I love this pack of paper. I've had 2 packs already. So get your votes in. Number 1 for the green, number 2 for the blue. And I have this here because our card base is going to be Misty Moonlight, so that helps you see which one you like. And we're going to have, this is our frame. So this piece is extra. I just throw it in my die cut pile. So let me help you. So it's going to go on top of this color, Basic Beige. I thought it worked pretty well. It's in this this paper. So that's going to be our pop-up part. And then here's our frame. And we're going to stamp this, and it's going to go in here, and we're going to add some color with blends. So there you go. Wow. I love it. So everybody loves number 2. Everybody has put number 2. I can't believe this. I thought for sure someone would pick green. Honestly, I wasn't sure. I like both of them. All right, so let's get that out of here. So it's gonna kind of look like this. Thank you for the love. I love it. Okay, so let me throw these off to the side. We're gonna cut some things really quick, and then we're gonna do some stamping and coloring. I'm gonna tell you how to build the measurements to build this. Okay, so you're gonna put your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in. You're gonna cut it at 4 1/4. And so you're basically just cutting that in half. So you could make 2 cards at one time. I know. Did Vicky vote? I think Vicky must be refilling her coffee because she didn't pick a color. And green, that olive green is definitely Vicky's favorite. So now I'm going to take my cutting blade. I'm going to put that out of the way. I knew it. She was refilling her coffee. That's why I said nobody voted for green. But yes, I will be making a card. I was going to make one ahead, and then I thought, no, I'm going to let you guys decide. I have the samples, so I'm going to let you do it. Okay, so we have our 4.5 by 11 sheet. We're going to score it at 5.5. Okay, so this is our normal, so our normal card fold. Okay, Then we're going to score it at 6 3/4. Okay. This is where we're making our book fold. Now, this leaves us with 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so we have a little square here, and we just need to divide it in half. So, Stamps-n-Lingers, she, on her blog post with this card, she has wonderful instructions, lots of visuals. She gives the measurement as 8 7/8. So you would come all the way over here, past the second line, past the 3/4 is 7/8, and you could score again. Now, if you're nervous about that, you could turn it and just score at 2 1/8. Okay, you could score it that way too. So I'm going to score it out here. So 8 7/8. Okay, so again, this was our normal scoring line for our card, 5 1/2. This was at 6 3/4 and 8 7/8, or flip it and do 2 1/8, because this is a 4 1/4 square, inch square. Okay, and we need it to divide in half in order to form our easel. So here's the folds, right? This would be a book fold, 5 1/2 and 6 3/4, and then you're dividing this in half so that it creates this folding part that stands up. Okay. So Joan, you think you would have picked green with a different card base? I could see that. Yeah. I like both plaids, and I think I think you could have done a basic beige card base, or old olive, or even if you like a darker green, you could do mossy meadow. But I just like it with the blue. I'm doing a fishing theme, so I kind of liked the blue. Okay, so that's scored. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Now, let's go to our patterned paper. If it has a direction, make sure you cut it so that it's going the correct way. But we are going to cut a piece. So let me go back to this because I already have this cut. This piece goes on this folding part. It is 4 inches by 4 inches. So here's my part that pops up. Okay, everybody with me? So this is going to go onto that. So this needs to be 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So I'm also going to cut a piece that goes right here, like that. So I'm going to cut this once at 3 3/4, and I'm not worried about the direction because it's just plaid. So this will be for another card, another day. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to cut at 3 3/4. That's going to go here, like that. And then this piece, I'm going to cut it at, this is 4 inches by 1. So this is going to get cut at 3/4, and I'm going to cut it. So I still have this little piece here, and then I'm going to turn it and cut it at 3, or no, I'm sorry, it's already cut at 3 3/4. You can tell I was cutting from scraps when I made my other cards because they were never the right thing. So this goes on like that. So there's building our card. And then we're going to stamp this piece, and it's just a scrap. I made sure that it fit my rectangle. These two are going to get adhered together like this, and then we're going to die cut this to go on the inside like a picture. That's going to go here. And then this piece for the inside is 4 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to put that on the inside like this. And then we're going to create a stopper. So I have some scrap paper here to cut, and we'll have to see how big we want that to be. So just to show you on my other card, you're going to create that however you want. So this one, I made it go clear across the page. This one is just a little tiny, little tiny short one. So as long as you have something there, that holds it up. So you can get really creative with this. Okay, there we have it. What do you guys think? Okay, so we're going to, and I need to maybe grab a couple scraps of white because I want to stamp some of this stuff to make that stopper. So we're going to grab this out. And I did grab out my basic gray. That's what I like to stamp with. Let's see what this fits on. Thank you for the love. So I've got my basic gray ink. I'm just inking this up. And if you're new to stamping, you just tap. Our ink pads have foam. So if you squish down really hard, all that ink's going to come up and it's going to get around all the edge of your stamp. So this is not like a linen pad where you really have to pound on it to get the ink to come out. This is foam. So it's very juicy and you just tap. And then I like to look and make sure I didn't get any things on the edge because I don't want a halo around this. And then I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. Throw that to the side for right now. We'll decide what we want here in a minute on the other things. Now, I just got out some blues, Old Olive. I'm thinking I'm going to do some Balmy Blue. I didn't grab Balmy Blue, but you could use Boho Blue. That would be good on this too. So I just want some different blues. I do have some green. I have some browns and tans. So I'm just going to start coloring. Oh, Vicki, we do know you. We know what you like, don't we? So for the skin tone, I just grabbed out an 800. You could use whatever. I might grab a little darker one. They're out in the sun, right? So they might need to have a suntan here. Let me see what else I've got. Just grab them all. So I'm using the natural tones. We have, these are for skin and hair. You can layer them, you can mix them. That seemed really, actually, I'm not even sure I grabbed the right one. I think I grabbed Ivory. Nope, that was the 800. So I really like the range of these browns, and there's some pinks in there. Okay, so not a lot. There's not a lot of blending. That was the 700. This is the 600. So if you do want to blend a little bit, you can. Okay. Now, I've got my blues. I have Night of Navy. I have some different blues. You could do tan for the pants. So I'm just going to start jumping in and coloring. And I'm just trying. Now, we don't have a basic beige blend. I wish we did. We do have an ivory. So I kind of brought that in because I like ivory with the crumb cake. It creates a really nice color. So I'm just putting some crumb cake here. I'm not trying to get realism or perfect blends. I'm just going to kind of throw some color on here. I also pulled out gray granite, so whatever colors you like. Now this is crumb cake, and I'm going to, so I'm blending out that a little bit, and I just want to put some of this ivory on. It just helps lighten it a little bit. And then let's see. Let's give Dad the blue shirt. I think I'm going to pick boho blue. I like that blue. So use whatever you have. So I did the dark, and now I'm just gonna color it off with the, actually I have been using the brush tip in more, and I just, it goes on quicker. Give it enough juice that those lines blend. Now let's give so that was 200 I put on the hair, and I'm going to use the 500 with it. So anytime I give you a number, those are the natural tones. And if you need to know where they are, 200's the deep, and 500 is the medium. Let's see. Let's do, I used these colors a ton when I did those coffee cards, so they're kind of squeaking. Let's do ivory and so I grabbed light gray granite, light crumb cake, and ivory, and I'm just going to put lines in her hair, kind of like a blonde. I'm trying to decide right now as we're talking if I want both kids to have a green shirt or so what do you guys think? Anyone have an opinion? Everyone's so quiet. I'm going to do balmy blue over here for his pants. see. Looking at my marker colors here, I have pecan pie. I'm gonna do the dock. Now some of this may get cut off a little bit. Oh, me too, Vicky. I love this. Now, the hard part is, like, we don't have any girls, but I still like this image. I suppose you could die cut it so it's just the boy, or not, you know, not ink it up as much. I'm using dark crumb cake to kind of smooth all that together. So that was pecan pie, and I just kind of flicked it on, and then I used dark crumb cake to kind of blend it. And let's do so this is Old Olive. And do some dark blue over here. So this is Night of Navy. You just barely. And let's just use the light Old Olive for her shirt. So yes, we're making everything matchy-matchy. It's okay, it's our picture. I'm going to grab my dark lemon lime twist and just add some on top of this, and it's going to change that green a little bit. So it's a little brighter. That's a little trick. You can mix the colors. So again, we just did it kind of quick, and I'm going to do, let me see if I'm going to do, now I don't remember how far this goes. So this is light balmy blue. So I'm going to do some background here, and we're going to usually I go the other direction, but some of it's going to get cut off. I don't want it to be just bright white. So I'm just going to round my image with some sky here. And I'm going to use my color lifter to kind of lighten it and push it through. You can do it neater than me. You could do dots. You could do whatever. I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit. So the color lifter helps push that color through and lighten it. It doesn't actually lift it, just kind of moves it. And it's just basically the alcohol solution with no colorant in it. So there's that. And see, it pushed all that through. And then we are going to get this stuff out of the way. We're going to take this die right here and we're going to cut it. So that's why I said I'm not exactly sure how much is going to show. But we're going to do it like that. So you could cut it before you colored if you don't, you know, if you want to see how much you have. No worries, Jenny. Have a great day. Enjoy your sun. Thank you, Vicki. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss really quick. And we're going to cut this image. And then we're going to finish up our card. So it goes pretty quick once you have your elements done. I don't have my fish done yet, but I'm going to fussy cut those, so no worries. Okay. So let's cut this, and I'm just basically putting this on, trying to get the best amount of each person. And I keep little sticky note pieces on the side of my cut and emboss to hold my dies in place. That's why it's so messy right here. It's from the tape. Now we have a little picture for our picture frame. There's that. I'll deal with that later. Okay, so here are our pieces. So when we adhere all this together, this fits right down in that. Isn't that neat? I love it. So I basically tried to bring in some browns to go with the basic beige, and I brought in some greens, and it's a little brighter than this plaid, but that's okay. You could even put, you know, a design on one of the shirts. You could draw with your markers and make a plaid design. I didn't do paper piecing, but you could do that too with that little scrap. You could have paper pieced. You can stamp this so that it's just the shirt and then cut out around it and adhere it on top. So those are some options. Now this goes on the inside, and we need to cut some of this stuff to be our stopper. So what do you think? What kind of stopper do you want? Do you want to do the fish, or would you like to do a lure? So you want it to be, put this on the bottom, we're done with that. You want it to be pretty even because it this way. So you don't want something really big on one side and really small on the other. You want it to be about the same. So like this one, I picked flowers and layered them, but they have the same height almost. So what do you think? Good morning, Dad. Thanks for joining us. 58 and rain. It is in the 30s here. And I don't know. I suppose it could be worse. We're not to the negatives anymore. So let me grab, I have some scraps. And let me grab some of those so I can, And I'm just going to pick something I can fussy cut. I don't want to have to take a lot of time doing this. I just picked my scrap bin. So I have a piece here we can cut of the Misty Moonlight. So this goes down, and then our stopper piece goes down. And then we'll have something on top of it. So we could do maybe this one and this one. What do you guys think? Now on this one, on these, I put a saying up here. So we haven't picked that yet. I usually just adhere it, something small here. You don't have to have a saying. Your saying could just go on the inside here. So this could pop up and not have a saying at all. So this one says, hello, friend. And then when you open it, it says, happy spring. This one says, let's celebrate. And then it says, happy birthday. So you don't have to, if you fill this space, you don't have to have words up there. So I don't always put words with my stopper. Okay, so like this one just had images. So it's really up to us how we create that part. So you like the fish? You want to do just this fish? Okay, so it's not getting stamped on there, so what color should our fish be? I gotta get that ink. So let me stamp the outline real quick here. Now this is a photopolymer set. So if you do not have a glass mat or a surface that's compatible, you'll need that Stampin' Pierce mat. And let me show you what it looks like in case you're looking for it in the store. It's like this. So you need this to help cushion your photopolymer stamps. The glass mat does a really good job. So if you have the glass mat, then you don't really need the other one. I use it for all kinds of things. So I have loads of those things sitting around. So here's this. And put this back. Oops. So one thing is this paper makes the mat really slicker. So, okay, here's the piece that goes over the fish. So we got to pick a color for this guy. I don't know what color fish are, but you could pick a light green. You could, if we want it to match kind of the tone of this. Now I do have a strip of this plaid left, so we could use, I have the Misty Moonlight that's going to go on top of this cardstock. We could also put a piece of the plaid on top of it and then the fish. Or you could put a greeting. You could put the Misty Moonlight, the plaid, and then a white strip with a greeting. You don't have to have a fish. I just thought the fish would look cute because they're fishing. Actually, I accidentally cut off his fishing pole. I moved it over too far, but that's okay. You can do yours better when you do it. So what do you think? Should we maybe make it like a stamped off old olive? Let's see what that looks like. So here's our fish. I'm just going to stamp off down here. Can you guys see where I'm stamping? So I'm just stamping on my grid paper. That's Old Olive, and then this would be Old Olive stamped off. See, Joan knows her fish. I didn't even know what kind of fish that was. So Joan says it's a salmon, and they are green, silver, and a little pink. Well, I'm not going to get into like blending and all of that, so Do you think a stamped off green would work? You could probably layer some colors, but like I said, I don't usually get all fancy. I guess you could just make it gray, like smoky slate. What do you think? Help me out, you guys. Thumbs up for green. I know it might not be 100% correct, but so I'm going to ink it up. My ink pad's a little dry. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to line this up and stamp it. And guess what? If you hate it, you can stamp another one. And you could take, this is, I'm going to use some light gray granite, and then I'm going to blend it out. So I went right over top of where I stamped, and then I'm going to take my color lifter and just kind of go over that area. There we go. Okay, so let me get my scrap here. I'm going to, and I was kind of deciding how long to make this based on kind of what we were deciding. This looks like it might have been scored at one time. I'm going to do an inch here. Just going to take off an inch from my scrap piece. And I don't want it to go the full length. So this is 4 and this is 4 inches. So if I do 3 and now this is just guessing. Okay, we can keep adjusting. So this would go like this, and we can even make this skinnier. Some of mine I've done an inch, some I haven't. So we might want it just smaller. So this does have a die that coordinates with this fish, but I am just going to cut around it with my scissors. I didn't pull the dies out for these. Oops. And I'm not, maybe I should have die cut it. I'm not very perfect at the fussy cutting, but that's okay. Okay, so there's our fish. So we could make this a little shorter. We could stick a swatch of paper behind our fish. And I think I like it. I would like it shorter so that it's a little closer to the size of the fish. So I'm going to, let's see, this is how I like to plan things. There's my fish. I'm going to go for 3 inches. I like that size. So each card you make is going to be different for your inside piece, depending on what you want it to look like. So before I cut this paper, let's decide. Here's our layer, okay? Do we want it A, without the designer series paper? or B, and I'm just going to hang this off so you kind of get an idea. It's going to have a blue border all the way around, or B with the designer series paper. So A without, B with. Oh, well, have a great day, Deb. Yes, and have fun at On Stage. I will not be there, but okay. Looks like B it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this to, I had my blue at 3, so I'm going to cut this at, actually I'm going to cut it this way first, at 3/4. Okay, because my blue one is 1 inch. So I'm going to cut my long one. That way my scrap is long. And then I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. So if you like 1/8 and you want it to have a little less blue, change your measurements accordingly. So this will be like this, and then our little fish here on top. Okay, so that goes with that piece. Okay, now I'm going to start assembling, and then we'll discuss if we want a greeting and where we want it to go. So first I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it in half, and I like to fold mine because sometimes our paper is a little bit off. So I'm going to fold this in half. Oh, and make sure that they line up. So I'm folding this just like a regular card. Okay, and then all my score lines here on the front. This fold goes back on itself, kind of like you're making an accordion. And then this one folds forward. So we have lots of cards that have these types of folds. Really fun, right? So this, we put glue here on our book fold part. Because it doesn't move. It's going to get adhered down. So close it. Okay, so here's our easel part. Here's our book fold part. This piece is going to get adhered together. Now, let me show you something really quick. Here, I cut our pattern piece, right? And so it joins like this. So I'm going to make sure when I adhere this, I glue it this way. I don't know if you would notice or if it really matters, but that's what I'm doing. So if you have a pattern and you want it to look like it meets up when this is flat, then you'll want to adhere it the same direction. So when I use this piece, it's going to be down here. And it's only adhered on the bottom, so it moves. But when it's closed, it's like this. So I'm going to do my best to line all those things up. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. So what do you think? Should I just make it a grateful for you card? Should we make it a happy birthday? What do you think? What kind of card should this be? So this goes like this. Now to adhere this, I do my frame first. Oops. And I'm just making sure all the edges line up and it's straight. Okay. And then I pop this one into the opening. And so it fits right down in there. I love this technique. So there's our frame. Put a little something on there to let it adhere. I see a vote for a birthday card. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two. Now, you could have used the basic beige on this part. I just decided to do the same color as my base. And then, oops, we're going to put our little fish on there. Reminds me of that. Do you guys remember when they had the talking fish that you would hang on your wall? Now, I'm not going to adhere this just yet. And I'll show you how we decide where that goes. So we're going to take this one, and it's going to go here. So we need this part to be moving, so no adhesive goes on that part. And I'm just going to leave some space from the edge. And then we're going to lay this down. Just like you're gluing, adhering a layer on a regular card. Oh yeah, a Polaroid die. That would be cute. So you can use any shape here that you want. I'm using a square. Oh, I got it, I think, off a little bit. That's okay. But you could do like these arches. You could just do an arch and have it pop up like that. Because this isn't even the largest. The arches, let me show you those. I'll show you those here in a second. Now this will go here like this, and you don't have to worry. You can glue this down because the moving part is in place. So do we want a greeting on here, or do you like it plain? Let's decide that. And while you're deciding that, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Okay, so that's where your message can go. You can write in it. And then this is going to go on dimensionals. So you could have this part just say your greeting, okay? You could have a greeting on the front and on the inside. So this goes, you decide where you want this to go based on how much you want that easel to stand up. So if you want it to just catch a little bit, you put it toward the bottom. You can go up a little higher. It's up to you. So I'm gonna, oh, actually, put that backing back on. I'm gonna put that on in a second after we finish the front. So we have this. You could put this on dimensionals if you wanted. I did put my greetings on dimensionals, and I used some dimensionals, but it is going to add to the height of your card. So know that if you are mailing this card, because it has a little bit of bulk to it. So somebody said a birthday card. I didn't see any other votes. So you could leave this as is and then stamp the happy birthday in here. Okay, let me see what happy birthdays I have. I have a stamp set laying here somewhere. I have this happy birthday and okay. So I have this happy birthday wishes. There's this happy birthday. I don't think any thoughts? So Jen suggested let's celebrate on the outside and happy birthday on the inside. Now this Simply Said has those things that coordinate and they match as far as fonts. So they don't have to match, but you could do that. So let's see. This is let's celebrate. Oops. So here's this. I may go ahead and hear that down. You could put let's celebrate, and it's okay if it goes across. We're going to do a little strip of paper. Let's celebrate. So let me go ahead and put this on. So I'm just putting it about the middle. You could also put it up a little bit further and put your greeting on the bottom. I like my things to layer and kind of go across my image. Okay, I like it to go, you know, layer. So that's up to you. And then we could do happy birthday on the inside. So let's do that. I got a big pile of stuff over here. Okay. So I have my scrap strips over here. Now we just need, let me close my glue. Let's decide what color we're stamping in. Ooh, Vicky says, leave the greeting off the front because then it can be displayed longer. So remember, this goes up like this. And that's how it looks. So let's vote on it. You guys want to vote? Okay. Let's vote. Yes for both greetings. One's going to go on the front, one's going to go on the inside. No for only happy birthday on the inside. Yes for both. No for just the happy birthday. And then we could do gray, blue, or green for our greeting. Let me grab my Misty Moonlight. Let's get some voting going on. We're finishing up our card here. I'm just going to stamp some things while I see your responses coming in, just so we can kind of see how things might look and what colors. So there's let's celebrate. Now the happy birthday we don't need a strip for because it is going to be stamped right on the inside of our card. So remember, yes was for both and no was for just happy birthday on the inside. Oh, I see some nose. Okay, so there's your Let's Celebrate. Okay, I would trim it. It's not going to be that wide. And then we would stamp Happy Birthday on the inside. So let me get rid of that. So Happy Birthday goes here. And then we have this piece down here. Okay, so we're going to leave the greeting off the front. Excellent choice. I like it both ways. Now we just have a vote. So let's see. There's the inside. We're stamping it Happy Birthday. Here are, this is Misty, Moonlight, Old Olive, or we could do a neutral with the gray. So let's vote. Are you guys ready? This is the last thing and our card's finished. 1 for Old Olive, 2 for Misty Moonlight, 3 for Basic Gray. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on. Again, you can put it where you like. You don't want to put it too far up because it makes the easel. So I typically put it down here to maybe just a little bit higher, depending on how far you want your easel, how much you want it to stand up. So I'm just going to pick right here, and then we're going to stamp Happy Birthday up here. So 1 is the Old Olive, 2 is Misty Moonlight, and 3 is Basic Gray. So Misty Moonlight is matching our card base. Old Olive, and I'm just, the Let's Celebrate, you know it's going to say Happy Birthday, but it gives you a visual on the colors, okay? And we all know what Basic Gray looks like, which is a lot of times if that's the only ink color you have, then neutral works. So there's 1. That's what it would look like, only Happy Birthday. And then here's 2. And you could type Let's Celebrate Happy Birthday, but I'm just going to do Happy Birthday. Let's see, I've got, I think blue is barely winning out. I just realized you could barely see. So that's number 1. It's number 2. I think number 2 just barely won. So now we're just going to stamp this and we are good to go. What do you guys think? How many of you cannot wait to make these cards? And there's our Happy Birthday. So you could stamp this anything. And it can be for any guy. So there's our front. And then it pops up like this, and it displays with the little fish. I love it. I love it. What do you guys think? Oh, I accidentally. Okay, so here's one where I made very little stamping. I used the ephemera and the designer series paper. Here's one where I made a die cut just like I did this frame, but I left it empty. This is the new mini corrugated embossing folder, 3D embossing folder. It's beautiful. And this was the new stamp. It's in my online store from the January online exclusives. Everyday You and Me. It has these flowers and it has this fun texture stamp. The Let's Celebrate is from Sentimental Park. And so is the Happy Birthday. I'm not sure I got that on straight, but you get the idea. So you still have room for a message. It can be displayed. So this is called the Book Fold. That's this fold right here. Easel card. And again, it was from Stamps-n-Lingers. So if you want to look up her card, it was very fun. Yes, Vicki, I will post dimensions. Oh, fun. Vicki, that's always a great reward, crafting time. Oh, Maggie, I'm glad to hear it. I can't wait to see what you guys create. Joan, ooh, I can't wait to see what you guys make. Thank you, Christy. So that is our cards. I'm going to leave them standing up for a minute. So I wanted to show you the arches. Now, I have not ordered these. These are Vicki's. She let me borrow them. But I wanted to show you guys because I think these are on my list. I'm just going to get them. And hopefully they're still in stock. They were low inventory. So you can see there are a very large arch. One of the demonstrators that reached $1 million in career sales, they used these to make a really cool interactive card for him, and I loved it. So there are 10 dies. These are the everyday arches. It's a part of a bundle. I just want the dies. But you can see this is very large. So if you wanted to do this instead of a square, how cool is that? And it has a little stitched edge. So how cool would that be? Right? And you could even cut your designer series paper. Like if you wanted to use this house one, that's my favorite. You could cut a layer and then cut your designer series paper to fit right on top. Aren't these beautiful? I love these. So I like to do this where I just die cut them so I can see how they layer. Look how pretty they are. So yeah, these are Vicki's. I have to give them back. So I'll be buying my own. For once somebody has convinced me to buy something. Everyone does. Oh, everyone does. So thank you all. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, Joan, you have these dies too. I really like them. I was on the fence, every time we have shape dies come out, I do question how much will I use them? Will it be worth the price and the purchase to add it to my collection? So I think the answer is yes. Ooh, the garden scenes in the arch. That would be very nice too. So there's so many possibilities. I love it when it's just wide open. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. So, and just so let me just show you really quick if I can find an envelope. Let me grab one. So these are the Stampin' Up! Medium envelopes. So it folds up like a standard card. It lays flat and it fits right into your envelope. So the only thing I don't know, in the US, we have 1/4 of an inch when it's mailing, or it needs extra postage. So this might bust that a little bit depending on how much dimension, because it has a dimensional on the inside, but if you put dimensionals on the front too, it may be a little extra, but it's a very special card, so that's okay. I don't mind that, but just so you know. Oh, thank you, Vicki. You are so generous. I appreciate it. I just started playing with them and so I haven't done a ton, but I really love them. Oh, Maggie. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for popping in. If you would like to grab any of the supplies that I've used, everything that I've used here on these cards is available in my online store, bethroy.stampinup.net. You just click on that shop now and buy buy what you love and you're going to use and have fun with it. And you might have dies and things in your stash that you think, oh, this would be great with this card. I think you could make a ton of different themes and they're really fun. They're a wow card with some simple folds and I just love them. So yes, you're right, Vicki. I do need one of those at-home mailing things so I can gauge it. But alas, I just show up at the post office and they tell me what I need to know. So thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.